Tucked away in the Allegheny Mountains is a sprawling 34-acre compound left decaying in the snow. From the outside, it looks like a fortress. This chart tracks the facility's mortality rate over a single century of operation. Between 1913 and 2013, an estimated 30,000 to 40,000 people died behind these fences. These deaths occurred across 3 distinct historical eras. Over those 100 years, the state operated a tuberculosis ward, a psychiatric hospital, and a medium-security prison, all stacked directly on top of the exact same geographic footprint. Investigators mapping the activity across this complex notice a pattern. The type of phenomena captured correlates to the specific historical era of the building they are standing in. Analyzing the evidence at Cresson reveals a complex paranormal ecosystem. A century of human suffering has fermented, layered, and interacted within these walls. In 1913, the state opened the first layer, a massive tuberculosis sanatorium designed to isolate highly infectious patients. The architecture featured continuous open-air porches intended to expose patients to the freezing mountain air. Patients often suffocated in their own beds. Some endured experimental surgeries, like thoroplasty, where doctors collapsed the lungs by removing sections of the patient's ribs. Today, investigators in the chapel and underground tunnels record sudden 6-degree temperature drops, heavy battery drains, and disembodied weeping voices. These residual hauntings function as an environmental recording, a non-interactive psychic imprint left behind by a massive concentration of trauma. The passive phenomena in the tunnels act as an emotional echo of the tens of thousands of sick patients who suffered and died in silence. In 1983, the state converted the complex into a medium-security prison. It remained open for 30 years before severe abuse allegations led to its closure. The restricted housing units held a volatile population, including notorious serial killers, who remained locked inside concrete cells for 23 hours a day. Moving from the medical wings into the E-block prison cells reveals a sharp change in the nature of the evidence. Heavy iron doors slam on command. Investigators capture the sound of stomping footsteps and hostile voice responses, including a clear "fuck you" recorded in the empty block. This intelligent haunting pattern mirrors the hyper-vigilant and confrontational survival mindset required of the inmates who were caged there. The deepest layer of the complex is F-block, which served as both the psychiatric unit and the inmate hospice. F-block is associated with the Creeper, an inhuman shadow entity described as having a human torso and tadpole-like legs that crawls across the ceilings. Environmental monitoring within F-block reveals a peculiar data spike. Across multiple sessions, investigators' devices exclusively returned the terms witchcraft, pact, and summoned. The repetition of these terms suggests a darker origin for the entity. In the extreme isolation of a prison hospice, a dying inmate looking for a final sense of control might turn to ritual practices, effectively tethering a presence to the cell block. The Creeper appears to be an inhuman thought form, a monster manifested by the facility's concentrated environment of abuse and despair. The entire Cresson complex stands as a physical mechanism designed to hide unwanted populations. Over a century, the architecture was weaponized to separate the infectious, the mentally ill, and the condemned from public view. Concrete walls can trap physical bodies, but they also permanently trap the psychological energy of the trauma inflicted inside them. Cresson's terrifying paranormal ecosystem suggests that when machines are built to bury human suffering, that suffering eventually ferments and demands to be heard.